But in the budget repair bill, one of the most offensive provisions included a requirement that the Secretary of Health Services, who's only been in Wisconsin for 70 days, he moved from Washington, D.C., he's a nice man, he ran the Medicaid program in Washington, D.C., but he's not a Wisconsin homegrown product. He has the authority to reduce Medicaid services, even though the law says those services should be provided. In other words, he can say dental care, which is dental care for adults, is an optional service. If he wants to save some money, he might he might propose that the state of Wisconsin not provide dental care for adults, even though the law says in Wisconsin dental care is provided to adults. Now, I've taken a lot of tough votes in my career. Janet's taken a few in her short career. The ones that matter the most are those in which we define what we're for and what we're against. And if I'm going to be bold enough to propose cuts in spending, I'm going to identify those cuts. I'm not going to let some unelected administrator do it and then blame that person for making those cuts and say I can't do anything about it, which is what the legislature has now done. They've taken it completely out of your hands, taken it out of our hands. And it's in the hands of the administration, who can basically be above the law. It makes no sense at all. It defies common sense. It is an absolute dereliction of duty for a legislator to let an unelected administrator essentially define what the law is, regardless of what the law says. Our job is to pass laws. What's the legislature's role? The legislature's role is to pass laws. That's primarily it. And we're saying, well, we'll let the administration decide what's best and most convenient. And so that is a provision that is creating deep concern, because we really don't know how these cuts are going to occur. We just know the total dollar amount of these particular cuts. Then you get into senior care in the budget. What we know is that all citizens who apply for senior care will be required to pay for senior care, for Medicare Part D. In other words, you have to turn around and apply. Well, for senior care, it's a $30 fee. Under Medicare Part D, it's $180 for the cheapest plan, and that would be the Humana or Walmart plan. These plans can go up to $1,600. So you're now going to be required to be paying this $180 that goes to an insurance company. That's $180 that you'd certainly much rather pay for your increased heating bill or other kinds of items. Well, what else happens with prescription drugs? The second part of it is this is at least a $79 million gift to the pharmaceutical industry, because Wisconsin, unlike Medicare Part D, Wisconsin includes rebates, discounts that the prescription companies must pay. And so we're benefiting. We have $79 million in increased benefit to seniors who are buying these prescription drugs today. Medicare Part D doesn't allow that. In other words, that money is all rolled back in. So you know that senior care is going to be dramatically impacted